Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that.
Well, earlier on, I'm pretty sure you heard what President Hakainde Hichilema to say about the impasse that is going on in South Africa between the Lungu family and also the Zambian government. So President Hakainde Hichilema said, we are willing to address whatever concerns Lungu family has after burial, President Hichilema, because should have been like 48 hours ago, the president had an interview with a media station from abroad that came to Zambia and had an interview with him at State House, a podcast of some sort, and that's where he shared those thoughts. So, and then also in the Daily Mail, Edgar Chagalungu burial impasse saddening Hakainde Hichilema. President is hopeful that the issue between government and the Lungu family will be resolved soon. So, in addition to that, you are aware that he had made a statement to say the engagement between the Lungu family and the Zambian government has reignited. Pretty much, they are talking again, in as much as they still have a court hearing that is coming up in the Supreme Court after the Constitutional Court threw out the court case of Edgar Shagalungu appeal. The Lungu family intended for it to go through the process of the courts that's going through the Supreme Court of South Africa, and then later on probably go back to the Constitutional Court. But prior to that move, the Zambian government re-engaged the talks between those are outside court talks, or trying to get to an outside court settlement. Prior to that, that's what the president was referring to. So no new developments have been shared with the public at this point of how the talks are going, but I'm pretty sure we'll get the verdict soon enough, as the president says there. I'd say he's hoping that soon enough a resolution can be reached. The president further on says, as President Hakainde Hichilema, President Hichilema says, is conscious of the feelings and concerns of the family of the late President Edgar Chagalungu. He is willing to listen to their concerns once Lungu is given a dignified send-off. Appearing on Africa Here and Now podcast, that's a postcard I was referring to earlier on. President Hichilema stated that the number of issues the Lungu family is raising can be dealt with after giving his predecessor an honorable burial. He also apologized for exposing the family. He also apologized for exposing the family, Zambians and the world at large, to what he described as an unfortunate situation. So there's an apology that was issued that, according to Kalemba's article there, President Hakainde Hichilema apologized for exposing the family and the Zambians and the world at large to what he described as an unfortunate situation. We are also conscious of the feelings and the feelings of the family, the concerns they may have. A number of these can be dealt with after the honorable burial, and we are available to do that. But we are sorry about that's the apology. We are sorry about exposing the family, the country, and the region and the world to this unfortunate situation, he explained. The head of state said he is confident that the standoff between government and the family will soon will end sooner and sooner than may be expected, and is very expectant, or sooner than many expect. So pretty much he is very confident. It seems like the talks that are going on between the Lungu family and the Zambian government are yielding results, and everyone is probably willing to make adjustments to their demands, and a resolution might be reached. Today is Sunday, so probably either today we're going to get an announcement of the way forward, or on Monday early morning, we will get the direction of how this thing is going to proceed. Because I'm pretty sure the president is very well updated on what's going on with regard to those talks. Because everyone that is in South Africa or that is in contact with the Lungu family from the Zambian side definitely has to report back to the head of state. And obviously, the news is still making rounds in South African media. Zambian president's feud with the late rival continues over funeral plans. So obviously that's a news headline there. So obviously still making the news. But just a couple of hours ago, there was a Kulamba ceremony that was taking place in Katete, to which President Hakainde Hichilema was the guest of honor, or part of the guest of honors, because even Malawi's president was also in Zambia. As you may be aware, this ceremony covers Mozambique, Zambia, and Malawi. So President Hakainde Hichilema landed with the First Lady Mutinda Hichilema. But something happened here that no one knows what it's about. So let me just let you watch the video and see exactly what happened, because just stand by, let me play you the video. So when President Hakainde Hichilema landed with the First Lady Mutinda Hichilema, that's in Katete for the ceremony. Obviously, the standard procedure, there are people waiting for them, lined up, that are supposed to be greeted. Everything looked normal, and the president interacted with everyone just like expected. But later on, as the video proceeds, something happened. One of, I don't know if the person was part of the people that was anticipated to greet the president or not, or he just came from nowhere. But as the First Lady approaches the crowd here that was on standby, some man rushed towards her, and you had to be whisked away by the security team. And the president had to literally just tell them not to beat him or stuff like that. They were just doing their job. But people are wondering what was his intention? Was he trying to hug the vice president? I mean, was he trying to hug the first lady? What was the idea there? I'm pretty sure no one anticipated it. But obviously, the security team here just stand by there. You see, the security team drags him out. So now everyone has been wondering to say, what was that all about? Obviously, President Hakainde Hichilema instructing them not to beat him or anything, just drag him out. And yeah, so it's that incident that people were left wondering, what was that man's intention? What was going on there? You can see the first lady was shaken there because she didn't anticipate that. And I'm pretty sure within the security team there'll be a lot of things to rectify. How did that person have access to the president so close when there's a lot of team? I'm pretty sure everyone that is around that close circle is supposed to be vetted. Everyone that is greeting the president. So how did that person, if he was already scheduled to greet the president, then what was his intention? I'm pretty sure they gave them protocol of how to conduct themselves. You can't approach the head of state or even worse, the first lady, and try to hug her or whatever that was. So it's that thing that people are wondering, what was that man's intention? Let me replay you the video so that you see as they approach that interaction, which left people wondering. So I was saying, you could hear the president instructing the security team not to beat him because they're about to go in. They're simply doing their job. So that much should thank the president for saving his life. Pretty much, they would have dealt with him immediately. But yeah, you could see the first lady was shaken by whatever that guy was trying to do there. And yeah, so no one knows what that man's intention was. Was it harmless or he had other plans? But yeah, it's that incident people are asking, Was it a security lapse, or was he already scheduled to be part of the entourage? And yeah, that's what happened in Katete. And that's the Malawian president, the counterpart that was part of the ceremony, the Columbus ceremony that was taking place. I don't think the one from Mozambique came through, or it might be the man on the far right there. But most of the pictures have been between Chakwera and President Hakainde Hichilema. Maybe the man on the right there might be Mozambican president. There's a recent, I think he was elected about 6 months ago, so his face is not yet registered for a good number of people. So I'm not sure if the Mozambican president was there, but most of the articles were just running between Malawi and Zambia. And then Chifetayari, on the other hand, they says the problem with living in the diaspora is that when the month end comes, you feel like appendices has shifted to your brain. So he says the pressure that comes with paying rent in the diaspora is living expenses are getting to his head. As you may be aware, he recently had an operation because of some things that he was having with his intestines, and he had some complications. So he was simply saying the pain sometimes shifts to his brain when it's time to pay rent. And he started praising people. He was like, "These are powerful men who know how to play whichever game and choose how to play whichever game they choose to play. Otherwise, otherwise they will just recoil and put up such smiles." His name is Velden Finley. So Velden used to be a very close friend to the late president Edgar Chagalungu, and if you remember, Chifetayari admitted to say some of the people that have been supporting him in diaspora are very close to President Edgar Chagalungu. And when he started attacking Esther Chagalungu and the Lungu family, he said some of the people that were supporting him decided to remove their support. So people were asking in the comment section to say, was this his way of admitting to say he's been receiving support from the man that you see on screen there, Velden Finley, or is he just trying to appeal to his good graces so that they can get some sort of sponsorship? Like because as you heard earlier on, he was complaining about rent being due and how the living expenses in the diaspora are getting to his head. So this praise was so random in reality. It's like, is he trying to admit to say yes, that's been his benefactor, or is he trying to appeal to say uh, the man finds it in his good graces to help him live in exile, is self-imposed exile? And obviously in the comment section, let me show you some of the comments that he was receiving on this post, because it seems like he was venting during this session. There you see the comments. When you see such praise, Nishi, he wants something, and people laugh it out there. So that's Akim there laughing at Chifetayari, simply saying the games can be played because now you feel like you need money. Pretty much people are not buying it. Like the praises are so random and uncalled for. And then he going further, it seems like he was having a mental breakdown or whatever. This is still Shukatayani. I've started engaging President Hakainde Hichilema on how he will hand over power to me in 2031, Shukatayani. So that's Shukatayani feeling to say he's engaging President Hakainde Hichilema. I doubt that. That's a lie. He's just shooting in the dark, trying to have some relevance in the news, but I don't see that engagement really. He put up then he followed it up with that Photoshop picture of him with President Hakainde Hichilema probably handing over power in 2031. That's after President Hakainde Hichilema's second term. That's if he wins the 2026 elections. Because they are in the caption saying, in politics, there are no permanent enemies because we are not enemies. We just have political differences. I am coming home soon. So those are the things that Shifetadi is doing online as he lives in his self-imposed exile. And then the mass newspaper carried that the headline: opposition need a single candidate. Zambians are clear on who they want to vote out, referring to President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND, but the opposition needs to be united and have one candidate. That's according to Mwabi Lungu there. Mwabi has been active in politics recently. He was off the grid for a while, and it seems like he's up in the game again. He's up to politics. And then PF, a former Patriotic Front the Deputy Secretary General Mumbipiri says Patriotic Front or PF can hold a convention 3 days before the general election and still win. That's according to the news diggers. So she was insinuating to say the convention can take place anytime. But then again, the ECZ has got its own code of ethics and operational rules of operation. You don't just randomly say, no, we're putting up a candidate 3 days before the elections. I believe the candidature of whoever is running for president has to be like a month, if not 3 months prior to that. So I don't know what she means. That it might have just been a jab at whoever is trying to push the PF to go to a convention to say it's not your call to make. They will decide when they do that. Hence, being extreme there is trying to say it can be 3 days before the 2026 general elections. And then President Hakainde Hichilema in the Daily Nation says, Hichilema, I am not autocratic, says he is not an authoritarian, and asserts that the UPND government or the UPND has expanded democratic space, freedoms, including success in delivering all the key promises made while in opposition. So the president is confident that the UPND has delivered and is not autocratic or authoritarian, according to that. And then the PF responded or had this to say about the UPND. So UPND will lose 2026 elections because they think they have performed well. Munduwile, that's Brian Munduwile. Also, Patriotic Front Member of Parliament, Brian Munduwile, says the United Party for National Development will lose the 2026 elections because they believe they have performed exceptionally well despite challenges citizens are facing. Munduwile has also argued that the ruling party self-assessment of having achieved over 90% of its promises is out of touch with the lived realities of Zambians who continue to grapple with high cost of living. So Brian Munduwile simply says that statement to say they've performed and they are sure. This headline that was carried here says the UPND has delivered based off the statement of President Hakainde Hichilema. Says that's what is going to cause the UPND to lose the 2026 elections because they are marking them a test paper that is not for them to mark. It's supposed to be marked by the citizens. That self-praise will not yield any results there. And then obviously Zolomes' murder case continues, but anyway, I'm going to run this story later on. It's got its different tiers. At this point, let's cover other news. Obviously, there are different appeals. Let me see if we still have some news headlines. Yes, that's. I'm very sorry. Sichinga apologizes for supporting Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND. So Bob Sichinga seems to be back in the active politics, and he says no, he's sorry for ever supporting Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND. It seems like everybody who had gone quiet is now getting very, very active and loud in politics now as we build out. I think we're just is it less than a year from to go to the general elections. So probably everyone is trying to find a place for themselves in this game of politics. Jarabo's riot, as in Daily Nation, bus driver gets heroic accolades after evacuating 76 passengers on time before a Power Tools bus went into flames. So, and then there are diggers. That's the Sino Metals issue still going on. The acid that they spilled says they spilled over 1.5 million tons of arsenic and uranium, not 50 tons, as they reported. Pollution may cause cancer, birth defects, reveals concealed report. So it seems like that's the quantity that they reviewed. That's according to news diggers there. And every Zambian should be concerned about that, hence that call. Daily Mail, Mon Abdin drug probe, Drug Enforcement Commission arrests former acting health permanent secretary and for admin and 5 others. Obviously, that's in the Ministry of Health. Drug, obviously, same news headline there. And then, yeah, and that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll report the other one later on. So, yeah, that's where we stand with regard to Edgar Chagalungu's thing and the family.
Body. The chopper will find us here. Yeah, we are almost. Let's go. Thank you.